Welcome to the Beyond Electric Sheep podcast. I'm Brick Thompson.
And I'm Ed Daniels.
So, Ed, we wanted to talk just briefly about a topic that, I don't know, I guess it could be controversial. I've been giving people advice that they should have a premium subscription to one of the big LLMs, either Claude or ChatGPT, and maybe you would go with Gemini. And there are people that say to me, well, why would I do that? That's, they're $20 a month. That's $240 a year. It's a lot of money, and I don't have a real use for it. And I try to make the case for them that, look, if you could hire a pretty smart intern, say, I don't know, at least a college-level smartness intern, to help you on whatever you wanted, wouldn't that be worth $20 a month? I mean, you think about all the subscriptions we pay for, my Spotify, my Netflix, my too many streaming things that I don't watch enough and have to remember to prune. This is so much more valuable than that, just to help you do stuff in your life. Make your shopping list. And not only make your shopping list, but order it by the aisle you're likely to find the things on. Help you plan a vacation. I know these sound almost trite, but it's so valuable. And I think on top of that, it's helping whoever's doing that to get good at using AI to tech enable themselves, which I think is going to be important, certainly in the workplace, critical, but maybe just for getting along in life. I think of my aging father. He passed a couple years ago, but near the end of his life, the machines, the technology was getting too hard to use. The iPhone was just complicated to do anything more than make a phone call on. And I think it's important for people, especially people who are aging, not to look at anybody in this room, but the both of us, be current on this stuff. Be good at it and pay the $20 a month so that you're not using a hobbled version or a version that's going to be throttled, that type of thing. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Well, I just echo your thought that people should be doing this. And sure, if you don't have $20 a month, that's understandable. You can use the free versions. They're great. They're amazing, and they give you that familiarity that you're talking about that's so important to all of us, and certainly people as they're getting older to stay in the loop on what's happening, and maybe even to make up for some deficits here and there, right? I mean, it's a maybe even a crutch in a good way, but and we come back to that. But to me, for example, ChatGPT is still my go-to LLM or AI service, if you want to call it that. And to me, having it persistent is really important. I have a long chain of different topics that I've been talking with ChatGPT about for the last year or two, and it remembers all of the most recent ones, and probably will now remember all the topics, so I can go back to a string that I've been that I was pursuing a little bit earlier. And I do go back to these pretty frequently because they're topics I'm interested in, and now I want to know more, or I have some additional thoughts. And then also there are custom instructions that you can give it to tell the LLM how you like to be talked to. How do you like to be addressed? Do I want to be called Mr. Daniels, or do I want to be called Ed? Do I want to be addressed in a casual tone or something a little more formal? Do I want my answers in bullet outlines or more prose, and so by creating an account and then getting the premium offering with these tools, Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT being the main ones, Perplexity as more of a search tool, but you can create a persistence that is really valuable and I think increases productivity. So it's kind of like connecting up with an old friend who just happens to be a genius and knows everything that's happening in the world,
It's a really good point. You make a good sales pitch. And actually, I would say if someone, not in the business context, but if someone was trying to figure out which one to get, you're right. I think ChatGPT is the right one, primarily because it has really good internet search. Yep. And some of these deep reasoning models, the O1 and the O1 Mini, are really good. And the voice, what's it called? Advanced voice, I think.
Yeah,
where you're talking to, I mean, it's like you're talking to someone. I use that on the way to work when I'm thinking through a problem, or maybe I've got a meeting coming up that morning that's going to be challenging. I'll have a discussion with that thing. Sometimes I get really good ideas from it, but often it's just getting my thoughts down. And when I get to the office, I can pull up the transcript. I can summarize that. I can have it summarize the transcript for me, and I'm just better prepared. That brings us back to work again. But I think that applies personally too.
It does, because I mean, for me, in my sort of old age, semi-retirement or whatever, I'm interested in pursuing different kinds of intellectual topics that just kind of for my own recreation that may not actually have any kind of work relationship whatsoever. So, I could be talking in the morning about my wife wants to make a wallpaper selection for something, what are some go-to ideas, or what should I ask her about in order to help her make the right selection? Not that I actually do contribute to that, but anyway.
She lets you think you do.
Exactly. Right. But I also have this really great ongoing conversation about the axial twist hypothesis, which is why our brains are connected to the other side of our body. Why does the right hemisphere of my brain talk to my left hand? That makes no sense whatsoever. Anyway, so I'm curious about that. Yeah, right. So, and then obviously there's business things. Also, my travel upcoming into the South Pacific, I've discussed that. What's the best route? What are different options? So it's a valuable tool.
I had a good one the other day. I had a routine blood draw from my primary care guy. And when I got the result back from the lab, I mean, I can read it and see is it high or low compared to whatever they say the baseline is. Way easier and say,
right,
analyze this for me. Good news, everything was good. But it was great to get all of the detail.
And if you're using just a freebie account without that persistence, well, first of all, you might be a little more shy about uploading that personal info, and you can't be coming back to it and referring to it. Now you could keep it, it's going to remember that data is in there, and then the next time you have one, you can upload that also and look at a comparison, and while you're at it, chat about how you've been feeling since the last time up till this time.
So you'd have to go back to that same chat, though. Yeah. That specific chat in your list of chats, yeah. Right. I think on the free ones, you still get do you not get a list of your previous chats?
I don't really know because I pay for it.
I don't know what the state of the art is now. And I guess it's possible that I'm advising something that people don't need, but just not to be throttled and to sort of
and I have been throttled in the past also, which I don't like,
No.
Right? It says, well, we got one more one more query to go or something, and then you're kind of offline until tomorrow.
I know. I put advanced voice on pause as I was driving and then forgot. Did something else on my phone, forgot about it. When I came back to it, it said, you've used up all your time for the day. You can come back at 6 p.m. Yeah. All right. All right. Well, that's a good discussion. I don't know. I think everybody needs to be using it. Virtually everybody. And if you're finding yourself at all hampered using it because you're not paying the $20, try to find somewhere in your budget. I mean, if you can't, I get it. Right. But if there's something else you're spending $20 on that you could divert to that, I think you wouldn't be sorry.
It's like having a conversation. Brick, I don't get to talk to you every day. You're a busy guy. I'm a busy guy. But isn't it great just being able to tap your smartest friend to ask some type of an interesting topic whenever you want to? It's just amazing.
It did not solve the UBI problem for me, though.
True.
We both went round and round on that one. All right. Well, I'll look forward to our next discussion.
Me too.
See you.